Hey, the shave we have today is one with a few new items. Bowl. Kind of looks like a hard hat. I found this at the Dollar Tree. It's thin, hopefully stainless steel. It's probably low quality, but proof of concept here. I have tried mixing up a lather with a similar sized bowl that was maybe an inch more shallow. And it did not. It was workable, but it required a lot of maneuvering to keep the lather from overflowing. So then when I saw this one at the Dollar Tree, grabbed it. Being higher, maybe that won't be a problem. Also with the metal bowls, I've been dabbling with the idea of putting some dents in them to then have some bumps to be able to agitate the brush and the lather and generate it quickly. So I took this bowl, took a pair of needle nose pliers because they have a long and round outer edge, and I just whacked the bowl about 8 or 9 times. And as you can see, we've got dents in it. We'll see. I have been doing that salsa bowl thing, but the plastic in that, I don't know, it just seemed like it was dragging on the hairs of my brush. And in my mind, that just didn't seem as good as I wanted it to be. So I put that aside for now, because obviously this is going to be a smooth surface inside here. We'll give this a shot. Something else new is this shaving soap. This is a little sample from Chiseled Face, trade winds, and I don't really care for it too much, and so I'm glad I got the sample. This is one of those that I've had. I put a post-it note over the name when I got it without looking at the name, and I just proceeded to kind of smell it maybe once or twice a day for about a week or two, and to try to extract what I thought might be in it, and to objectively gain the fragrance. And I did that. Kind of like a musky, very light musky, but some cologne, that musky kind of cologne type fragrance with some soapy ivory type fragrances. I didn't really smell anything oceany. Okay, when I said musky, what I meant to say was florals. It's probably got something musky in there just to keep it from being totally floral, but the main focuses that I see in this scent are florals and the soap, and so that's not me. But we're going to try it out. It's from Chiseled Face, and so I'm confident it's going to be great. Here's the color of it, kind of a brownish tan manila kind of color. Got a little bit of gloss to it. Today's hardware will be, I don't remember the number designation for this, but it's the Parker Open Comb, and 24, 26, something like that. Nice heavy long handle that I enjoy. So grippy. The Open Comb. This is one of the ones where I cannot shave at a 30-degree angle, but I have to do more like a 45. I will show you the blade, and here is something special. This is the Gillette Silver Blue, and this is the same one I've been using for a week. This is the 7th shave on this blade. Never had one go that far. It's shown a little bit of sign of just not cutting quite as sharp as it did in the first 3 shaves, but that's all. It's not pulling, it's not tugging. So let's just see how far this thing will go. The only thing I'm doing differently with this one than I have other ones in the past is I was just aligning my blade there. is that I am spritzing alcohol on it, rubbing alcohol after the shave, and just setting it aside, let that dry while I clean up. It's the only thing I'm doing. Don't know if it's effective. I don't know if maybe this blade just always lasts this long. So even if it stops right now with 6 uses, that's 6 good uses, I'm extremely happy with that. I've got my spray bottle of witch hazel, and I think we're ready to go. My whipped dog brush has been soaking in distilled water, so that's also what we'll use to mix up the soap. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little fingerful out. There we go, just that much. It's probably a little bit more than an almond. You can't judge a shaving soap by the jar alone. So I'm glad I got it as a sample. So we'll see if there's more to it once it's mixed up. But something I was thinking about the other day, and I'm just going to press this into the bottom of the bowl here. Something I was thinking about just the other day. I was looking on Shave Bazaar, finding some of the creams and soaps that are out there right now, and I'm like, oh, that one seems so good, but my budget just, can't let me jump into that one. I was reminded that it's very possible that I will run into, there's so many good fragrances out there, so many good soaps. I'm going to pretty much shake all the water out of this brush, take my finger that had a little bit of the soap residue just to make sure I use up all that soap. There's so many good soaps that if it's something that just kind of, it's pleasant but doesn't thrill you, then I think I'm going to let it pass. So many good things out there. All right, so I spread the soap around the bottom, and let's just start mixing with a somewhat dry brush. See what happens. Okay, with just a few little mixes there, we've already got some. I think this is very promising. There's some more notes, some more scents in there. Now we have got immediately, as you can see, we've got tons of bubbles in there. So we'll just keep working those. I can already feel that the surface here is a lot more slick than the black bowl that was the salsa bowl. And now, as you can see, those bubbles that I just showed you are starting to get smaller, disappear. At first I thought I'm going to have to add some water, but I'm glad I didn't, because I might have been surprised. I think this is working great. Let's see here. We've already got, this much lather. If you had to, and you're in a rush, I think you could start shaving with that right away. All right, now, what do we get here? It's very, very quiet right now. I don't know if it's the kind of fragrance that my nose has gotten used to and I'm just not going to smell it anymore, or if it's just so light. Trade winds is supposed to be maybe some oceany. I'm not getting any of that. Maybe something like salty or something like that. Maybe. But that's so that kind of fragrance is almost found. It's kind of transparent fragrance where you can smell it about anywhere. I don't know if you get my gist. It could not be there and you kind of perceive it. It's there. So adding that water is good. Thickening up. Whoa. Pulled that a little too much out of the bowl in the wrong way. And this is great. I can feel the brush dragging because it's just contacting so much of the soap that's already in the bowl. I'm gonna add just a little bit more, maybe 1/4 teaspoon. I'm just ballparking there. And I showed you the one nice thing about the samples is it has taught me to just the benefits of grabbing the soap manually instead of trying to dip your brush in it, or wiping the wet brush on the top of the soap to load it. If you extract it with your finger, then you just know exactly how much you're using. And so this is so far, a terrific way to make lather, as it's in my opinion. Does not have too much of a sheen. Don't know whether that's my fault. I don't know if some lathers just have a sheen, some of them don't. But I got a feeling, see, that's still pretty thick. Now this bowl though, you see it's not super tight in my hands because it's just kind of large. At first I thought the little dents would provide good finger holds, but a little farther apart. I don't know, I'm super happy with this so far, so I'm gonna try to keep figuring out a way to make it work. Tons of lather. Smell? Okay. Okay. There was more, a little more in there. Green. Green clean is something that's a kind of a smell I did not catch before from the jar. Tons of lather. Now, as to whether this soap is the kind of soap where I can slowly keep adding water until it just explodes in quantity, kind of exponentially, I don't know. But I've got tons here, and I don't want to thin it down. Now it's drag. Yeah, I'm going to keep this as thick. I like this. I like this. Looks really good. Love the performance of their soaps. Yeah, it's just, I mean, in one sense, it fulfills its goal because it is something light. As you might expect an oceany type of scent to be, because it is light. It's the florals are light, and so that is expected for that. So they did achieve it as far as being oceany, with any kind of ocean smells, like salty, or I don't know exactly what they would bring in to make that happen. I'm not really smelling too much else. So in a sense, it could be a generic fragrance applying to so many things. This could be English Garden, for instance. So I'm going to pause while I rinse. All right, so anything else besides florals and soap. Not much that I'm getting. It's just me. I'm a cold shaver, so don't have to wait for the water to heat up, and I don't have to worry too much about my skin being more open to, warm skin at the end of a shave. More open to, your pores aren't actually open, but they're something about it being more susceptible to, stuff. I don't know what. Can't remember what the article I read said. I need to do a little bit more scrubbing. All right. And we can just kind of paint, lay it on as thick as I like. That's just my preference. As some of you may know, what something smells like greatly depends on what you just smelled previously. So one nice thing that you can do to really discern aspects about a scent is to take a similar scent that you might have, and this is light and floral with soapy. There's tons of barbershop type fragrances that are that way. I mean, this could be a standard barbershop type fragrance. It really could. So I think it's kind of generic. But smell them side by side. Take a barbershop fragrance or something else that's floral, and then smell something like this. And the difference will be evident. Something will come out because your nose will kind of remember what it smelled, and then some new aspect will come out. And likewise, if you take something that's very different from trade winds and smell it first and then come here, it'll be different. So that's an exercise you can do to help yourself gauge the kind of scent more objectively. All right, 45-degree angle. Oh, that's smooth. Almost doesn't feel like I'm cutting. So smooth. And this is a 7th use blade. Wow. Really smooth. Gillette Silver Blue. And this open comb is a very smooth one for me. I like the Parkers. Pretty much a with the grain. Shave right now. Rinse. And apply the second layer. Second pass. I have a boar brush, Smogue 830 that I'm breaking in. Almost brought it to do this shave, but I wanted more objectivity with this. This is the first time I've used the silver bowl with the dents in it. And so I didn't, since that's not broken in, I wanted something more objective. I think it's going to take a while to break in, I think. Which is typical, you know, for bore brushes, I understand. This thing just, lots of soap in there, like it. One thing that bowl doesn't have is any kind of brush rest. But hey, you get what you pay for. If you want to pay for a brush rest, you can shell out $25 for the Captain's Choice. Looks really good. That large lather bowl. It looks really good to me. The fine lather bowl looks like it'd be super effective. Right now, I want something more in my shave area, in my routine. I'd rather not have something so modern and contemporary. I will stick with, I think the Captain's Choice kind of looks a little more like what I might be interested in. I might try to find a local potter, see how much they would charge to make a similar bowl. This is so smooth. I mean, is it smooth because it's dull and not cutting? I don't think so. Don't think so. Cross grain. Sensitive area right there with hairs that are problematic to achieve maximum cuttage. Open combs, it's a myth that they are always aggressive. This is delivering a very smooth shave. That's why it's in my rotation. Okay, how does this feel? I've still got, you can tell it's not cutting as effectively as it used to, but still, it still beats out some. Oh yeah, wow. My neck hair area, there's some brand new razors that haven't been ever used that won't get that neck area that well. 7th time, working well. A little bit of water here. Now right now I'm not really experiencing a whole lot of slickness from this chiseled face soap. It could have been, it could be that I could have improved that by mixing it longer or adding some more water, not sure. That's the shave lather foo that I have a level to which I have not yet attained. Kind of asking questions right now to try to figure out if you're trying to get a good lather for protection and getting those stubborn hairs, then what are the best attributes to look for? What are the things to do? Feels nice and protective. Nice thick. Feels heat protective as well. Doesn't matter quite so much for me because that's lukewarm. All right. Cross grain the other way. I'm not doing a whole lot of skin stretching. That could have something to do with some of the patches that haven't quite gotten shaved. Haven't quite gotten completely shaved yet. Cross grain. I don't do it against the grain pass. My skin doesn't like that. So this hair, they grow this way. Here they do some turning, but here they go this way, and so that's why my diagonal pass earlier was a cross grain pass. Flip my hand posture here, and then that was against the grain right there. How can that be against the grain? Where is that hair going? Man, right there, it's so hard to tell. All right. Except for a couple of the areas where I probably ended up doing more against the grain work, it's just been a very smooth shave with this Parker. Just really terrific. Let's see here. This hair grows down this way, so let's try this. Okay, we don't want to generate too much irritation. Rinse. So the inspection here after the third pass. Cheeks feel great. They always do. Nice close shave on those. This side of the neck is good. Usually is. Typical for me also is that some of the neck hairs right here are, some of them have been cut, some of them haven't. Some of them haven't been cut as much down. They're not flush. But generally, if I wanted to go into a business, I probably would not. Nobody would probably notice any issue, and so I could stop here. But I do feel a little bit of irritation down there. But you know, I've got the lather. You got the leather, I got the time. Alright. Let's just do and I don't even think I'm going to agitate it further with a cross grain run. What I may do is just a kind of a slow, methodical with the grain run, just to see if that helps. But the way it is right now with those hairs partially done, it's pretty standard for most blades. Only the after 3 passes, especially, only the feather in certain of my razors or the Persona treat will be after 2 passes. We'll have that completely cut properly. So it would have been amazing for a 7-time use blade to get that after 3. Okay, just nice. And I need to remember about the light pressure thing. I think sometimes I forget that. I don't think I pressed too hard, but who knows? I might get better results by just being really light with it. My Adam's apple sometimes is a problem, so we'll go over that too. Spread that around a little bit. Nice and easy. See what happens. All right, I think that'll do it. Not really a smelling or noticing this Tradewinds soap as I'm shaving. It's very, I've said it's light before, so that's a side effect. Rinse time. Be right back. After drying off my face and looking, inspecting the little problem area, I am going to do it again, but this time I am going to do a little bit of the skin stretching, pulling the neck skin to the side to a different area that may let the razor cut it a little better. Because I don't think that last little micro pass I did had much effect. Okay. See if that is any better. Right on the verge of stirring up some razor burn right there. So, Parker 20 something maybe. Nice long heavy handle, open comb. 24 maybe, and loaded with a Gillette silver blue blade on its 7th use. Doing great. I will continue to spray alcohol on it until things change to where I don't feel like shaving with it anymore. Nothing else I need to report, I guess, except the bowl here, while I think it really helped me to generate a lather quickly, it was difficult to hold on to. Maybe I could take some kind of adhesive tape. That tennis racket stuff rings a bell, but you also need to be able to rinse it easily. I don't know. We'll just keep playing with it. Keep working on it. And then, of course, I've been mentioning the Tradewinds many times. So you know that's what I've been evaluating. So a final sniff of the bowl. Yeah, just soapy florals, which apparently tons of guys are into. I don't know why. They like it for some reason. All right. Dried off again. Inspect it again, and that kind of neck stretching was effective. I mean, it's not baby butt smooth or anything, but it's a close, comfortable shave, and I was able to get more of the hairs that way. So in a way, I'm happy when it comes to trying to get those guys after the 3rd or 4th pass. This guy's probably a little bit too aggressive for that. Maybe that's why some guys say they shave with one razor and then they have another one they bring in at some point too. So if I had a milder one, then maybe that would help with the neck at the very end. All right. It's late. I'm staying up late. I need to go to bed. So, having just applied the witch hazel, Thayer's with aloe, unscented, alcohol-free, and just thinking about irritation here, not really feeling too much. I do see some little bit of redness right there, but that is just so standard for me. There may have been a carryover from yesterday's shave anyway. So nice close shave, 7th use blade. Amazed that it's still going, and the Face feels refreshed, no real irritation. So that's a good combo. The Gillette Silver Blue. I don't actually know of any of my good razors that have a problem with that blade. They all do really well with that blade, from Mercours to Parker's, the Edwin Jagger 89. Actually, that one wasn't as good with it, but for me, the Parker variant was great with it. The Gillettes, some of my antique Gillettes from the 40s and 50s. I tried it in 2 of those, and it was spectacular. It was terrific. That was early on. I think that was use number 1 and use number 3. That was terrific. So all around, this blade, I'm super happy with in almost all of my razors. So I hope this information helped somebody, maybe describing a little bit of the trade winds scent, or just showing you another idea about bowls and things you can try to do to get yourself a nice textured bowl for until you can afford a good one. I think that'll be enough for tonight. Time to go to sleep. Night night. Something a little extra hit me as I was washing off this bowl. Online, I saw YouTube videos of air dry clay. You can buy clay at hobby stores that dries just in the air, instead of having to put it in a kiln and firing it up at 1,000 degrees or whatever it is, 200 degrees. That's too low. Air dry clay, and you basically form it, and you could actually use this as a template. They were using bowls, and I thought, well, but you got to figure out a way. I guess you could maybe form it around the bowl, and then before it's dry, you would take it off and maybe cut grooves in it or something, or press grooves in it with your finger. But then it hit me just now, these dents. You could dent up your bowl here before you put the clay over it, and then the clay would conform to the dents. This would be the mold, and then you would, once that dries, pull it off, and now you've got these, much like the inside here, it has bumps. You have that in the clay pot as well. But here's the catch, and here's why I haven't come close to doing that. Number 1, you've got to go buy the clay. And number 2, you have to put a glaze on it, a non-porous kind of food grade glaze, so that the clay pot doesn't absorb water, and so that your brush isn't sandpapering up against clay. And so by the time you add all those ingredients up, you may as well end up at the same price as a Captain's Choice bowl, or one of the other nice lathered bowls. So that's why I haven't done it. But that could be good, because you could perhaps take $25 and buy the ingredients and buy all the materials, but then have enough to make maybe 5 of them. But who needs 5 shaving bowls, you know, unless you're going to sell them. So anyway, just put a little information out there. This could be a mold with the dents, and that the dents could help if you want to try to make your own. Now that's true. You would be able to make it your own with colors and glazes and art around the end of it, or whatever. You could make the handle as big as you want with the air dry clay, I would assume. I watched several videos of the air dry clay and looked pretty good. So for those wishing to hack the shaving bowl, just wanted to leave that little footnote at the end of this shave. Thank you.